everyone. Good evening. What an intro. What an intro. How was that? So, as you can see, I'm live at Rep Arena tonight. Make sure I got all my area covered. So, how's everyone doing tonight? Here's a. Oh, it's my phone. So maybe this will shut everyone up. I doubt it. But anyway, guys, how are you tonight? Doing good. Feel great today. Feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. Finally figured out how to work it with the software. The screen's not hard at all. You basically just hang a green piece of whatever that material is they send you, and it's the software you run that makes your background. I've been playing with it a lot, so I'm going to show you a few things because I like playing with this. Actually in a wrestling ring now, as you can see. I'm in my new house. So a lot of things are pretty cool, I think. The sports background is my favorite team, the Kentucky Wildcats. So how does everyone like my new house? It's beautiful, isn't it? I got my own piano. I do need a study. I need a book background. That's what I need. Is that AD's house? Holy shit, we live in the same house. It's one of the, this is one of the default pictures that come with it. So that's probably why we have the same house. Somebody said it was AD's. So I'm going to go back to my UK background. Actually, I'll show you a few more. Northern Lights. Just went up the highway here, and how's that look, guys? I can take myself completely out of the picture, or I can put myself back. Oh, easy there. So, how's that? Pretty cool, eh? Out in the middle of nowhere. Trees behind me. No, I've only downloaded a few. I don't really have a lot right now. I'm still downloading some. Still watching. You didn't know about Kobe Bryant? You had never heard about Kobe Bryant? Wow. Kobe Bryant's pretty famous. So anyway, guys, as you can see, I have my screen up. I know there's going to be a video. There always is. It's unbelievable. But anything happen exciting with you guys tonight, today? I'm just sitting here playing around because this is actually pretty cool how you can do this. I can't. I'll put a true crime one up too. How do you guys like that one? How does that one look? I haven't figured out how to play videos yet. See my hat. I guess my hat disappears. This is, by the way, guys, this is not a stockings or pantyhose on my head. Somebody said I had pantyhose on my head. It's just a hat turned backwards. Everyone likes the trees. So sad about, yeah. It seems like, all the little children that's been missing lately are being found deceased. It's really sad. Um, I mean, I don't even know what to say when things like that happen. It's like, what can you say? Um, it's terrible news. So everybody likes the trees. Let me go back to the trees. Okay, so there you guys go. So basically, all I've been doing is just, and it's kind of uncomfortable because actually the screen that she put up is actually really small, so it's got me kind of backed against the wall. Uh, so I'm kind of tight in here, tighter than I usually am. What I'll probably do is just go to Walmart and maybe buy a large green sheet and just hang up. Because a lot of people get confused. They think a green screen is really expensive because you do all this stuff in the background with it, and that's not the case at all. The screens are very cheap. It's the what I was having trouble is the how do you run it. Kelly's son was going to help me, and then we never got up with each other about that. So finally, I watched a tutorial before or this afternoon when I got in, and of course I had this. I know people don't believe this, but I had the screen in the garage. So once I figured out the software, I said, I think I can do that. So I hollered at my son. He helped me hang it really quick, and now we have a background screen. I should go get a bookcase screen. Let me do that because I think a bookcase screen would be really cool. Give me 1 second. I can't see your comments right now because I'm going to find a bookcase. Sorry for the dead air. I'm just looking at something, trying to figure out which one of these I want. Let's see. Save. Bookcase. Put this one up. Northern lights do I often have? Where northern? How? One time, it makes a lot of difference, something with the atmosphere when you see the northern lights. Back a few years ago when I was younger in my drinking days, we was all, how you go out in the country into a field in Kentucky. Yeah, I know in Kentucky it's, what's called a field party. I don't know if you guys know that terminology, but that's common saying around here. And we would go to a field, and just so happened that night there happened to be the atmosphere was just right, and you could see the northern lights, and that was pretty cool. So let's see how this one looks. All right, there we go. Now, what I need to do is figure out how to play a video behind it. That's what I need to do next. So I've got the pictures down. So next will be a video. So I know, guys, my channel is an entertainment channel. Oh, yeah, and by the way, before I forget, somebody messaged me last night, Vanessa Enright. She's a subscriber, and I think she had a really good idea. Just want to read her message to you. I'm not going to read it verbatim. Basically, she had an idea that maybe once a week we could bring somebody on that's in recovery, and they could tell their story their testimony, and possibly that would help somebody. You know, it's my channel, but you know, I do it for entertainment for you guys. And if you guys think that would, I don't know, be something you all would be desperate. I seen the name on the screen. Something you all would enjoy. And they said also this person, Vanessa, you know, said that she would like to participate in this. Jana or Joanna, just JoJo. By God, you could, if you did anything wrong, believe me, on YouTube, it's going to be scrutinized. I just it's all if they wasn't serious, it would be comical. But wow. So I'm going to go back to my UK. Actually, somebody had a good idea there. Give me a second. I'm not going to be able to see your comments. I'm going to do something. Sorry, guys. See how you guys like this one. Sorry, I'm just playing around tonight, but hey, what does it matter, right? If you guys enjoy it, I enjoy it. So who cares, right? There we go. How about that, guys? Actually, I don't like that at all. Let me get that shit off there. I like this one. There we go. That's my favorite. UK. Big balling, baby. No, I'm just kidding. So, guys, they always say, I don't have any content. What do you guys want to talk about? You pick it, and we'll talk about it tonight. Because I know what their topic will be, what I done tonight, and that's really sad that they. And then they say, "Well, you did that to AD to build your channel." I did it maybe once a week, and it was comedy for all of us to laugh at, and just have a good laugh. It was about once a week, but other than that, we didn't do it every day. Hello, Don. How are you tonight? Good to see you. I don't have an ocean background yet. No, all I have is the default ones, and then I also have some that I have downloaded. I'm not sure, Angela. Do you have an update on the Valo case? Does anybody want to come on and talk about anything tonight? Does anybody want to come on and Vanessa, or if you're here, do you want to come on and tell your testimony? Smoking my cigarettes that I got my strike for. Gosh damn, son. These big baller, bet my story would make you quake in your shoes. Does anybody, I've told my testimony before on the channel. And So maybe there's somebody that would like to come on tonight and tell their story of their addiction and their recovery and what they went through, and we can have a conversation between a couple of us. If any of you guys want to do that, I'm going to watch the screen, and actually let me send this person a message and see if they would be interested in coming on tonight. They might be in the chat, I'm not sure. Eyes are blue says she can't tell hers. She'd be arrested. There's usually a what do you call it? Statute of limitation. What is behind Braun? What is that? Oh my goodness. Hello, Tricia. How are you tonight? Jerry says his name was Kevin. I can't remember the rest of his name. He tried telling the police where she was. It's in one of the groups. Joanna, just JoJo, says, yeah, I mean, most of, I mean, of course, when you're in addiction, well, you know, I'm not saying that because, honest to God, when my addiction first started, you know, it was a legal addiction. I was getting a prescription each month from a doctor, and what happened is eventually I needed more, and that's when I started buying pills off the street. Hello, Soul Eyes. Yeah, I'm actually feeling a lot better today. Thank you for asking. That's very nice of you to ask. Jerry says he sent a picture to the police saying where she was. So do you want to come on, Jerry, and talk about that? Tell us what you know about it. You can come on with just your voice. If somebody wants to come on, they don't have to be on camera. They can just talk, and you know, turn the camera setting off. Oh. Okay, so she just answered and said she can't tonight, but could tomorrow or over the weekend. I'm so sorry, we have an unexpected company tonight. Okay, so no big deal. I'll just say okay. Just answering her back here, and it's 12:45 p.m. here, and over 100%. I am melting, Braun. It is just above freezing here. It's right at the freezing mark, and 100 degrees was what that was meant to say. And she's probably, I would say, from Australia, if I had to guess, with that kind of temperature in this time of year. 84 viewers and 4 likes. How many dislikes do we have already? I bet there's a bunch. Oh, yeah. Oh. Likes. Oh, we've only got 1 so far. How about that? That's pretty good. And we'll probably have about 10 now that I said something. Well, Soul Eyes, you can come on without using your camera. You can come on and just use the microphone part if you'd like to do that. You don't have to. Elysian Field says it's -20 where she is at. So we go from 100 degrees where Trish is at to -20 degrees where Elysian is at. So what a swing. And we have had rain here for days and days and days. Uh, yeah, you can use your iPhone. What I do is I send you a link, and you just click on that link, and it takes you to the StreamYard web page, and you just click on everything. And then once you get up here to me, I'll click add you to the screen, and we'll both be on. You just leave. It'll have what it'll have. It'll have a little camera button, and it'll have a microphone button, and just turn your little camera button off. Whoa! I just stepped into virtual Kentucky. Yeah, we've had flooding. We've had rain for days and days and days and days. It's unbelievable. Okay, what I'll let me send it to you. Let me get my Facebook Messenger pulled up, and then I'll send it there. So give me just a second. I can't see you guys. Um, give me just a second here. I can't see if you're saying anything. Okay, I got something here on the screen that I can't get it to go off. Let me go to Messenger. I know you're going to get mad at me about this, but are you friends with me on the Ron Moxley Facebook page, Soul Eyes? I know you are on my John Bach page. Just wondering if can you add me as a friend really quick, and then I can send you a message, send you the link. If you want to. And just let me know when you've sent it, and I'll go get it. Yeah, there's flooding in Kentucky. It's really bad. We've had rain and rain and rain and rain for days. Friday night, it actually got cold enough, and we had about 5 inches of snow. Unbelievable. You sent it to the John Bachman. Can you send it to the Ron Moxley page? I mean, I'll accept it on my page. I just need you to do it on the Ron Moxley page, if you don't care. Please. I can probably find you actually really quick. Maybe. Yeah, there you are. Okay, I added you. So if you want to accept that, then I can send you a message. Okay, so let me do this. Okay. Now I'm going to paste this and send it to you. Then you just click on it, and it'll basically walk you through the instructions. It's not hard. If you have any trouble, just let me know. Well, day to day, that's okay. Listening is always good. Great idea, like a big old NAAA meeting. Yeah, I mean, we do different stuff. It's not always true crime on here. Okay, that's fine. Just whenever you get a chance, we talk about anxiety and depression, and and things like that on here. Of course, I suffer from those things. At different times in my life, it's been worse than others. There has been times in my life where I will go through stages where I just could not get on the interstate. It would scare me to death. And then, like right now in my life, my anxiety is pretty low. I'm not really having any trouble um, with getting on the interstate or anything. I don't know what it is about the interstate, but that's always just been one of my biggest issues with anxiety and panic attacks. Um, so just to let you know, that's something I deal with. I'm not going to respond, Summer. I'm done responding. I talked last night, and then I'm done. So, um, and we have conversation with one another. The only thing I don't like about this is it's got me backed into the wall, and I really have no room where I'm such a fat ass. I don't have room to move. And also have the same sweatshirt on, and I'm stinking really bad. So, just to know. Let's see here. Driving on the freeway is scary without. Last night here in my hometown. Well, this is not my hometown. I don't live in my hometown. I just live one town away from my hometown. Yeah, I know, Nicole. I need to. I'm sitting here stinking. I don't know what it would matter if I was sitting here stinking. It's not like you guys can smell me anyway, right? So who gives a shit if I stink, right? I just it's laughable, very laughable. I think. Um, Oh, of course, Don. They can't get over me, and they said I had a lot of arrogance and cockiness last night about me. It's not really that. It's just used to I would let people say whatever they wanted and not ban block, and it's just not like that anymore. If you come in and start shit or just to run your mouth or cause trouble, you're going to be blocked. You're going to be blocked right off the bat, and that's just the end of it. If they want to call me cocky for that, that's fine. I am cocky, and I've been cocky all my life. So what about it? I'm just it's just I've been backed up, and they won't shut up. It's not smell a tube, it's YouTube. That is very correct, Angela. Um, Amanda says, I'm sure your beard knits are enjoying your grungy, non-showering self. They actually are. My knits actually speak to me where they're close to my ears. We actually have conversations all the time. So anyways, we're just talking. We're waiting for Soul Eyes to come on. She's going to talk about her experiences with Oh, Summer. I don't know. I guess I think it's not he has a lot on me. I think he has an obsession with me. Um, so that's what I think it is. But he can call it what he wants. I call it an obsession. If you talk about the same man, you're a man, and you talk about the same man every day of your life, you have to be obsessed with him. I mean, what else could it be? So. And I don't know what he would have on me. I've already pretty much shared my whole life story with everyone here. So maybe if he has something, maybe I don't know about, know about it. I don't know. He obviously showed on his videos that he can manipulate messages. So who knows? Take that, UK. Oh, I was hoping you would be here, Ween, to see this. I love it. Don't you? Isn't that awesome? I do need to change it. I like changing it up a little bit. Let's change it to something else. I'm not like a kid in a toy store when I get something new. Let me see what I can go. Let's do the Northern Lights for a while. Those are kind of pretty. I like the Northern Lights. Um, hey, those coppers come to get you. No, they haven't been here yet. I've been waiting on them and just haven't seen them. Okay, Carol, I will hush. Put up a nice UT one. No, 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 no. Sometime if you come on as a guest, maybe I can put a UT one up for you if you would like to do that. So I know last night you said you might see this camera. I've talked about this before. You can see like a circle in this area here. Get over here where it's at. There we go, right there, and you can still see it. So when I put my hat there, I can. I don't like that. And so Assad and Christy, we used to live in Lexington. Very familiar with Big Blue. Yeah, if you're in Kentucky and you're not Big Blue, man, it can get rough. Yeah, it's like a halo. It's like I'm an angel. Um, what big eyes you have. Um, background looks like my backyard. Yeah, where you live, isn't it? Is it Michigan, Cheryl? AK. When you lit the cig, it was cool. The big old flame thing. Anyone else see that? Let's see what it does again. Oh, check it out. That is cool. All right. I didn't even realize that done that. Alaska. Oh, yes. I would say you do have a good view of the. I used to watch that show, Cheryl, called Life Below Zero. And I love that show. And it always made me want to go to Alaska while watching that show. Um, that one guy on there, I can't remember his name. He was an older man. He used to get on my nerves. He first, when the show first came on, um, he had his wife there, or girlfriend. I can't remember. It might have been his fiance. I can't remember if they were married or not. But he talked to her like a dog. And finally, in the later episodes, she obviously left and went somewhere else. So who knows? Yeah, that's my stink stream. What this looks like if I blow smoke. Oh, that's cool. The smoke disappeared. Y'all see that? That was cool. Okay, Vanessa says she can come on and talk about her um, testimony of her addiction. I'll tell her to send me a. Sorry about this. I'm sending her a message so we can get her on. So as you guys can see, I've actually went to Michigan tonight. I have set my computer up out in the wilderness. Good night, Joanna. Sleep well, sweet dreams. Hook 'em horns, Ween. Uh-oh, we've got a Texas fan in the room. You know, talking about the broom thing, Woody Wood. I have a broom, and the bristles on it. I definitely need a new broom. And no, guys, I'm not asking you to buy me a new broom. I am just telling you a story about my broom. But I thought there's no way this broom could balance on the bristles and stand up, and it actually did. And I was like, holy shit! So it did work for me. So let me find out. Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to find this message to bring this person on to the live so she could. Oh, Carol, it's the same old shit every day. He talks about my content. Their content is pitiful. Very, very repetitive. Same thing. I can't even understand him. So the only thing I can understand is Brawny Boy and we. So. Crap. Sorry, guys. Trying to get a person on. So give me just a second. I'm sorry about this. Let me see what your picture looks like. Okay, there. I see you now. So let me send you a message. I'm going to message. You might have to go into your other folder to accept it. Just let me know. Okay, so I sent you a message. When you get it, just open that message. And then I will also be able to send you a link. Now, like I said, you might have to look up well, it took me a minute to get my broom to stand up. It did do that just because how the bristles were just every different direction. And plus the bristles are worn now really short on my broom. Like I said, I'm not asking you guys for a new broom or anything like that. But just explaining how I didn't think my broom would stand up. So let me see if this person has answered, and then I'll send her the link. Okay. Let me go back here and send a link. Give me a second. Sorry about this, guys. As you can see, I'm not prepared, like they say. But who gives a shit, right, guys? We all get along, right? That's all that matters. I'm going to send you this link, Vanessa. You don't have to come on with the camera if you don't want to, but you can if you want to also. So let me know. What? Dodie? Shame on you for saying that. So just follow the instructions on that. Crap, hang on. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. I didn't see that. Sorry about that. I missed that message. I've been on another page trying to get some stuff worked out. We're trying to bring on a thank you, Tricia. She just sent me the message. The Faye was found in a neighbor's house, also with a deceased male. Let's see. If you can hear me, Vanessa, you hit allow mic cam access, and then you can turn the cam off once you go past that. I believe you're in the room and you can hear me. You see nothing. Thank you, Tricia, for the donation. Appreciate that. This is repeating. Okay, so Soul Eyes is now on. I can actually bring both of them on. And we can all three talk if you guys would like. So let's do that. Hello, Soul Eyes. I'm going to bring Vanessa on too. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm going to bring her on too, and we'll all three just talk. All right, Vanessa, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, we got me, you, and Soul Eyes, all three on. And
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
uh, Soul
I don't
Eyes,
have,
you sounded a little bit muffled. I don't know if there's anything.
no, I don't have a microphone, and I'm on my not my laptop, but my desktop.
Okay,
So,
it's got like a little static in it or something. It just
all
doesn't
right,
sound really clear. So just letting you know that.
okay.
So does it matter which one of you goes first? It doesn't to me. If you guys want
Vanessa
to,
can go.
you can go first, Vanessa, if you want. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks. So this is my first
All
time.
right, we can't hear you now. You sound like you're in another room.
I do?
Yes.
Holy cat. Hold on. Can you hear me better now?
Oh yeah, hear you loud and clear now.
All right. I put my mic on. All right. So
Can you hear me now?
Huh?
Oh, I had you on my phone, so I had to turn it off.
Okay. You just got a little static in yours, so.
Is it really, really bad?
I mean, I can hear you, but it's
it's just like a little bit of vibrating.
Yeah,
Like,
I need a microphone. That's the problem.
yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be all right, I believe.
Okay, if it's real bad, just let me know.
Okay, will do. All right. So I think Vanessa's up first. She's gonna tell us her, I guess, what you call testimony. That's what I call it.
it's definitely something, that's for sure. So I'm Vanessa. I'm 42. I grew up in a family of four with my mother and my stepfather who raised me. So that's my dad, and a younger sister. And so I kind of had a rough childhood, right? Everything was good. And I know this sounds very cliche until my sister was born, who was my stepdad's actual biological daughter.
Mhm.
And things kind of changed from there. And my dad didn't really know how to parent a kid that I had a lot of what we know now is I fall on the very high functioning end of the autism spectrum. It's not something I broadcast. Quite frankly, I didn't find out until later on in my life. Just made a lot of things make sense. But I was a pretty difficult child, to say the least. So a lot of things changed, and there was some probably verbal and physical abuse that went on while I was growing up. Matter of fact, I know there was. But I also had a mother who um, was sober. She is an alcoholic. And but she did not drink for 23 years. Those 23 years were the years that I was growing up. In that time, we kind of grew up in a dysfunctional home, right? Where it looked perfect from the outside. We were upper middle class family, and grew up in a small town of 500 people in southern Illinois, right?
Mhm.
In that being said, there was a lot that was going on behind closed doors, and it caused a lot of behavioral issues with me. And then I was also um, molested by my next door neighbor
Mhm.
from the time I was 9 until I was 14 years old. And so he was eventually prosecuted and he was
Yeah,
sentenced.
just curious, how old was he?
He was 33 when I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was actually the father of my little sister's best friend. So they were, like out our backyard. They were our neighbors. And my sister was 3 years old when she started playing with their daughter. And of course, me being the older sister was go watch your sister. And so that's kind of how that all transpired. And I just kept going over there, even when I was older and knew it was wrong, just for the simple fact that I didn't want anything to happen to her. Long story short, I ended up trying to commit suicide when I was 15, I believe. And so I was hospitalized for a few weeks. During that time, I had only told one person about what had been going on,
Mhm.
which was one of my best friends in school. And I played volleyball in school. And we were on our way back home from a game. And I told her, I don't even know what made me tell her or why I told her, but I told her what was going on. And I told her she couldn't tell anybody because this guy had threatened me. And obviously, when you're 9 years old and you hear it for, 5 years, you start like thinking like it's real, like what he says is real. So um, I told her, uh, a year goes by. I end up trying to commit suicide. I was about ready to be released from the hospital, and they pull me into a room and kind of just started asking me if anybody had ever touched me inappropriately. So um, I knew the jig was up at that point. So, and that I was safe there. So I told them what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just a whirlwind of events after that. So that's kind of my background. I ended up moving out at the age of 18 under not good circumstances, like my parents, my mom, again, being a dry drunk, really is the bottom line. Um,
Now, what is a dry drunk? Just out of curiosity.
not working recovery, right? So she wasn't drinking,
Uh-huh.
but she wasn't trying to be well, right?
Right.
Now, as an adult, I could see like she wasn't going to therapy, she wasn't going to AA, she wasn't doing anything. Like she literally had just quit cold turkey when I think I was 2 years old.
Mhm.
Um, and so there was never alcohol in our house. Like that was not a thing. I knew she was an alcoholic because she told me time and time again. Um, that if she even had one sip of alcohol, she knew what would happen. She didn't want that to happen to me.
Right.
And so I was rebellious. Like nobody could tell me nothing. I'd had a shitty childhood. I wanted to go live with my boyfriend when I was 18. Well, that's what I did, and I never went back home. I spent a time being homeless. Um, just I could be here for years, so I'm going to keep it short. I went through a lot of partying, doing drugs, drinking. I went through that when I was probably between 19 and 22, um, and or 18 to 22, really. I ended up being in a abusive relationship, um, really abusive. And that was the first abusive relationship I had been in. That was not with the boyfriend that I moved out for. We ended up growing up, realizing we wanted different things, and just kind of went our own way. And then I jumped right into a relationship with an abuser. Um, and I got pregnant. um,
Now, was these abusers alcoholics also, or drug addicts, or anything like
No,
that? No.
no, he was just severely mentally ill.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like he would have a drink here and there, but he wasn't a drunk. He didn't do drugs. Um, no, I take it, well, not at the beginning. Um, I got pregnant, with my son, who is now 21, and had him when I was 21. And so his father would not work. He would not allow me to work. It got to the point where I was not allowed to work. um, he was very controlling. I remember getting a plate full of food on a glass plate thrown at my head because he didn't like the consistency of the mashed potatoes I fixed.
Wow.
Um,
Jeez.
yeah, I mean, I got my hands broken from him just beating me on my head and me putting my hands over my head. Now at that time, I'm short. I'm like pocket size, so I'm only 5'2", and he was 6'5", and I was 103, and he was 295. Right.
Right.
So I was a little scrapper, but I really was no match for his type of crazy.
Yeah.
So after many attempts of my family trying to get me to get away from him, I just ignored everybody and stayed until I didn't stay. And that came being chased down the street one day, when my son was 2. And I just called my aunt. I said, You got to pick me up. And she was there. She picked me up and my son, and that was that. But Vanessa doesn't learn the first, second, or third time around. So I go on, and now at this time, I was only like drinking on the weekends, going out, having that time that I didn't get when I was younger and pregnant.
Right.
And so I would go out with a group of friends. Like there were like 50 of us. We actually all met on AOL in a chat room.
Mhm.
And there was like
I
50.
remember those.
Yeah.
I was
So there
actually telling my son earlier about AOL chat rooms, how I can still remember doing that.
it was great. It
That was the good old
great.
days.
Yeah, it definitely was. I'm still actually friends with most of them today. But
You've got mail.
yeah, you've got mail and the dial-up connect. Oh yeah.
Oh.
So we would go out like every weekend. We'd either
AFL.
yeah. So other than that, like I was on the straight and narrow. I wasn't doing anything else other than that. Just focusing on my son. Then I met my ex-husband, who was a firefighter paramedic in Central Illinois. Actually met him through that group, and ended up moving in with him. And I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. Now, during this time, my son was wild. Like I knew something was wrong with him, and behaviorally something. But I wasn't sure what it was. Like he would literally be in a meltdown from the time he woke up until the time he went to bed. And my ex-husband was also in the military.
Now, what age was your son at this point?
He was 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2. So he was 2, almost 3.
Okay.
And at this point, like he was always fussy, right? Like, and I just thought it was the environment that he had been in with the abuse. But he was really displaying some behavioral issues. And so I started taking him to doctors, trying to figure out like what's wrong with my baby, you know? And he would turn on the charm. Like I don't even know how he was that smart at that young of an age. But he was kind of like the broken car you take to the mechanic. It squeaks until you get there, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward, my ex-husband was in the military. He got deployed. I get pregnant again. And I had my daughter in 2002. So she'll be 18 this May. And
May what?
29th.
Oh, my daughter's a 24.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I like that time of the year. So she was born on May 29th. And she was just like this angel baby. Like she must have known her brother took all my time because like she was just quiet, happy baby all the time. My ex-husband got deployed to Iraq right at the start of the war, and he was on the front lines. So she was 9 months old when he got deployed, and he didn't come back the first time until she was, I want to say, oh God, she was in between 1.5 years and 2 years old. So that was quite a trip, dealing with my son. And again, I was on the straight and narrow. I was really focused though on my son. Like I could see something was wrong. He ended up being put into here it's called Head Start. So it's more of like an early intervention type services.
We have Head Start here.
Yeah. So he was very advanced in his language. He was very advanced in everything except for the social skills, and needed a super strict routine, blah, blah, blah. Get him in there. And then I put him in preschool at 4. And that was at our local church. And he done got himself kicked out of preschool by biting another kid on the butt. And because nap time was not in his agenda. And the pastor of the church came and talked to me. He's like, because it was a church that we attended. And he said that, you know, your son really reminds me of my son a lot. And his son was on the autism spectrum. and his son was 18 at the time. And so I started, I had never heard of it before when he said Asperger's, right? So I was like, what the hell is that? So I go home, and I'm a researcher. Like, I will research until the cows come home. So I go home and I'm like looking up everything, and it was like reading about my son. So I started taking it back to the doctors again. Now, at 3 years old, they wanted to put him on lithium and all these crazy mood stabilizers and antipsychotics. Then my ex-husband wanted, this is kind of all over the place, but he came back from Iraq. He then decided he wanted an open marriage, and I was kind of checked out, burnt out, and we ended up divorced. We were married. Well, we were together 7 years. We were only married after 7 months before I asked for a divorce. So that was my first go around. And again, I think a lot of that stems from my childhood. I think I was more in love with the idea of being married than who I was actually getting married to.
Right.
So when my daughter was 3 and my son was 6, we got divorced, and I was a stay-at-home mom. People don't like to hire stay-at-home moms when you haven't had a work history for 4 years.
Right.
So I kind of made a shitty decision, and I said, you know what? I'm just going across town. My daughter was a super huge daddy's girl. I didn't want to rip her from the only home she had ever known. I'm like, I'll let her stay here. Our divorce was amicable. Everything was fine. I could see her whenever I wanted. I took her, he took her, like we lived in the same town. But I didn't rip her out of the house, So he ends up getting deployed to Iraq a second time. And after he came back that second time, he was different. He was very different. He said, I just hear this to this day. He said, if you thought I was an asshole before, you should know me now. And that was really true. Like, he just turned into a completely different person. So after another year-long deployment, he comes home. My daughter's readjusting to him being back home, and a month later, he moves another woman in with her daughter, who is a year older than my daughter, and makes my daughter share her room with this girl. So there were a lot of issues there. He was just making a lot of poor decisions, and he just turned into a completely different person, saying that I was dealing drugs, just a whole bunch of nonsense. So basically alienating. That's what he was doing. He was trying to alienate and use his quote power, if you will, because he was a firefighter. He was buddy with all of the cops, and was basically holding my daughter for ransom. I mean, like, if I didn't walk his line, there was nothing I could do. I was broke. I was a single mom. And so I was pretty pissed off. So I started partying a lot, started drinking a lot, smoked a lot of weed, just, did it all. So I didn't have to feel, right? And
You mask your emotions.
for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Never at any point, thank God, have I ever been addicted. Well, yeah, like, I guess addicted. I can always stop, but it just was a really shitty point in my life, which always leads to really shitty decisions. So I ended up, now again, like I said, Central Southern Illinois. I ended up moving. I needed resources for my son. There weren't resources for kids on the autism spectrum down from where I was from, and they were all up by Chicago. And I was also a medic. I was an EMT, so I knew I could go anywhere. So I decided that I'm going to move up to Chicago, and that pissed my ex-husband off, and basically out of spite, like, made my life very, very, very difficult. Um, and further alienating my daughter from me. And my daughter was no longer allowed to speak to me. She was no longer allowed to speak to my son, her brother, or any of my family. And there wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. I didn't have $5,000 for a retainer for an attorney.
So
And
you were in Chicago, and where your kids were? Where were they at?
my son was with me.
Okay.
My daughter was with my ex-husband. The agreement was that, again, I could have her anytime I wanted her as long as it was within reason.
No.
But she would live there. That's all she had known. And that was ultimately, that was my decision, not thinking that this guy's going to change and be like this complete total, I mean, I, wacky, I guess, maybe is like just totally out of line. Um, he,
Was it PTSD or from the?
I think something happened. He changed. And
Right.
that's all I can think of is he changed. We were still friendly when we got divorced. It was very amicable. And I mean, I just had enough, and I don't understand what happened. To this day, I still don't understand what changed or what changed him. But he did. So my daughter will still occasionally sneak to get a hold of me, but then I'm blocked again right away because she can't get caught. So it's just a really bad situation.
Right.
And I just hang on to the faith that she's going to be 18, and I'm that person where I don't care how much I dislike the other parent. I'm not going to badmouth my children's fathers to them. I'm just not going to do it. And I did it at my own expense with my daughter, unfortunately, because I refused to put her in the middle of it.
Right.
So um, after that, so I moved up to the Chicago area, um, figured out what I was going to do for work, started out with temp agencies. Um, Now at this point, I'm 28. Well, I've been up here for 13 years now. So yeah, I had to have been like 28-ish, around there.
Okay.
29. I just remember I was up here for my 30th birthday. And again, I tried dating. Like, that's weird nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
dating is just a weird thing. And I would go out on the weekends. Um, got a job, paid well. Got my own apartment, paid well. Um, but lo and behold, I had to find my next abusive relationship. And that ended really weird. I ended up with me being stalked, and the FBI hunting me down 4 years later to ask me about this guy.
Really? That wow.
Yeah, I still to this day don't even know what it was about. They're really good. They just told me that it was about him, and they talked to me for about 2 hours. They interrogated me in a Panera Bread, and it, but he fractured my elbow. He was bipolar, which obviously I didn't know at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And just a whole bunch of stuff. Now, at this point, my son's old enough where he's also having behavioral issues. So he's in a therapeutic school, but my son has a lot of anger issues. So at least that's how it comes across, right? And so I knew something more than the autism spectrum was going on. And I have anxiety. I have PTSD from the abuse of all kinds. I put that on the back burner because my kid comes first, and he was in dire straits. He had been hospitalized. He has been hospitalized five or six times since the age of 5. And he's having behavioral issues in school. I'm trying to hold down a full-time job. I have a doctor telling me he needs 24-hour structure, like he needs somebody with him 24 hours a day. And like, okay, are you going to pay my bills? Like, no, it doesn't work like that. And so I'm trying to deal with that, and then I'm trying to deal with this abusive ass relationship, and I lost myself. I lost myself. At that point, after I finally ended it with that guy after 2 years, it only took me 2 years to figure that one out. My son had gotten in the middle of us, and I ended up having this guy arrested, and then he proceeded to stalk me for a while, and that is a mind game you don't ever want played on you. That is horrible. I was calling the police every day to come do a walkthrough of my house before I would even go in, because it was to the point where I would walk in the door and I would notice things just move just enough so I would notice,
Mhm.
because I'm very hyper observant. And
Okay.
so then that freaked me out. And so I was having the police, and I'm sure the police were annoyed as shit with me. But I wasn't going to go into this townhouse that, he could be lurking in. Like, who does that? Or he would call me and tell me what he saw me doing. He showed up at my job when I was sitting in somebody else's car for over an hour. So I was working a split shift. So I had 2 hours in between. It didn't make sense for me to go home. And so I was just chilling in my friend's car, and I'd been out there for an hour. The car was facing like a pond, so it wasn't even like it was facing the main area of the parking lot. And I'm talking on the phone, and just glance out my driver's side window, and there he's standing.
Yeah, that's weird. Huh.
Yeah. So 4 years, 3 or 4 years later, after I'd already entered another not so good relationship, I had the FBI contact the guy I was with at that time on his cell phone. Some Mike Barker. How FBI does that sound? From the FBI field office in, I think, Orland Park, somewhere around Chicago. And so he gave my boyfriend at that time his phone number and told me I needed to call him when I got off work. And so this was on a Wednesday. It was the Wednesday before Easter that year. And I remember that because when I was talking to him, he's like, well, can, I meet with you? There's somebody in your past I'd like to talk to you about. It was just like a movie. It was so weird. And I'm like, he's like, you're not in any trouble. And I'm like, I know, because I haven't done anything wrong. But he he's like, well, let me talk to my partner, because he drives from Indiana every day. He's like, let me see when we can meet up with you. And I was like, well, you're not coming to my job, because that would look really bizarre. So we need to find someplace else to meet. And he called me back that Thursday, and he said, we can meet with you next Tuesday. Now, you're not going to tell me what you're calling about. Just quote somebody from my past that you'd like to talk to me about. The FBI doesn't just hunt you down for marijuana, like something serious is going on. So that's who I thought of was the guy that stalked me, right? Like,
Mhm.
I'm freaking out that whole time. Like, so I finally called this Mike Barker back, and I said, am I in, like, is my safety in jeopardy? And he's like, no, you should be fine. Okay, well, that wasn't real assuring either. So that triggered a lot of PTSD. And like I said, they questioned me for close to 2 hours, and I still couldn't even tell you why or what he did. I keep Googling to this day. I occasionally Google and just see, like, nothing ever came out of it. So I don't know what they were investigating him for. They said that they couldn't tell me anything, that they were there to ask me questions, down to the point where they wanted me to, like, describe, like, his friends' houses and the layout of their houses and how often he went over there. It was just very bizarre. Um, and about the abuse that I had went through and how he was around my kids. So I don't know. Like, they were all over the place, but I couldn't even get a read on him. Um, so I'm already in another relationship. This goofy ass guy is the one that I'm in a relationship with at that point, was bipolar as well. And my son's now 13 years old, and he's had major behavioral issues, and he's displaying a lot of bipolar symptoms. And it was just a nightmare. Like every day to wake up was like, oh my God. So I started smoking weed every single day, which I'm a big advocate for marijuana when it's used properly. But I was not using it properly at that point. Like I was just trying not to lose my mind. Um, so I was with that guy for up until 2014. So I think it was about 4 years from 2010 to 2014. So I had a habit of just hopping from relationship to relationship to relationship and never taking time to find myself, right? And um, with everything I had going on with my son, then I think I had like a mini breakdown because I just up and decided that I'm going to Houston. Like I'm going to go down to Texas because I worked for a bank that had an office in Houston. Like I'm just going to go work remote from the Houston office. And so, yeah, I did that for a couple of months, and that kind of started a whole. Now, I've never been in trouble, never done anything wrong. I was just starting to make some really shitty decisions. So I left that relationship, went down to Houston for a couple of months, came back up. This is all in 2014, and I'm partying all the time. Now I'm starting to go out and drink on every Wednesday. I would go out to drink, do karaoke. Every Thursday, or no, every Friday and Saturday, I was going to the bar. And just making a lot of dumbass decisions.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what, I need to be by myself. Like I don't need to be in a relationship. That's why I went to Houston, because I didn't know anybody down there, and like I didn't want to be in a relationship. And that's the only way like I felt like I could completely break away from everything. And that was just a bad decision, but whatever. I came back, I'm partying a lot. Ironically, one of my really good friends that I had for 6 years, he texted me one day. I'm playing volleyball at this local bar. It's called Drink in Hand Volleyball. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it was for charity. So like you had to have a drink in your hand to play the volleyball game, right? You could only use the one hand, and if you spilt your drink, you had to go fill it back up. It's a fun game, and I love playing volleyball. But he texted me. He's like, so when are we going to hook up? Now, this was out of the blue. I'm like, what do you mean hook up? Like, I'm hooking up with you. He's like, no, hang out, you know? Him and I are married today. He's very healthy. It's, I think, just taking those months to myself.
So that's your husband now, the one you just said?
Yep.
Said hook up.
Yep. Yeah. We were actually, when we met, I was with the one that I ended up leaving right before that I said that had bipolar before I went to Houston. We all had mutual friends. So that's how I had met him 6 years before. And we hadn't talked in a while. He was also in a relationship with his daughter's mother. And so we all knew each other. But he was no longer with her, and I was not even looking for a relationship. It actually just kind of happened. So it was really cool. It's the first healthy relationship I've had, which kind of was like a culture shock or a shock of some type, because I've never been in a healthy relationship ever with anybody, not family, not anything. And he just doesn't get, like, he doesn't argue. Like I was always looking to argue. He's very patient. I'm not. And it was just a lot to get used to. But we ended up started dating in 2014. We were married in October of 2016, and life has been good. But where my life got good, my son's life kind of fell down. And as he got older, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. He did graduate high school, which I honestly did not think was ever going to happen. But I ended up taking him back for testing again, like there's obviously more than the autism spectrum and ADHD going on. So when he was 17, I took him back for testing. It was like 6 hours worth of testing. And he was diagnosed with bipolar 1, rapid cycling, um, ADHD, and borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
So,
Somebody asked a question. They said, "Do you talk to your children now?"
yeah.
Okay.
Not my daughter. My daughter does. No, my daughter, at this point, doesn't know anything other. I mean, she doesn't have the opportunity to, and she's been brainwashed for years. So she kind of has some. I don't hear from her. My son hears from her. My son and her talk a lot. So I'm just waiting until she's 18.
And you
And
said she's 15 or 16 now?
she's 17.
17.
She'll be 18 in May.
Yeah, May 29th. Yeah, okay.
Yep. I'm counting down the days. So, my son moved out when he was 18, which I thought was silly. He would not stay med compliant. It was just, and the blow ups were, now I'll tell you, my son is 6'4" and 300 pounds. Solid. Like he's got a belly, but that's about it. The kid towers over me. And he's huge. And he has like the strength of 25 men when he's pissed off. And it just got to a point where like he was wanting to come fight my husband. He was wanting to, I was like, that can't be happening. I said, look, man, you could stay here. I'm like, but you got to take the trash out. You got to do this. He didn't want to do that. So he moved out when he was 18. Came back in March of last year. So he was only gone for like a year. Came back in March of 2019. And in that time, he had been hospitalized twice. He
What for? What was he hospitalized for?
For suicidal or homicidal thoughts.
Okay. So placed in psychiatric ward.
Yeah. But now he's an adult, right? So he's threatened to kill me. He's threatened to kill my husband. But he won't stay med compliant. So it's just like, and he smokes weed. Again, I don't have anything against that, but in his case, I think it triggers some more behaviors, and breaks, if you will. And so before Halloween this year, right before Halloween this year, the Wednesday before Halloween, my husband has our two bonus daughters, or his daughters, over every Wednesday night for dinner. And they happened to be here for dinner, and my son like literally started trying to fight my husband over a pair of socks. Like it was just like that. And I had to make him leave. I told him, said, you've got to go. You can't, like, for our own safety, like this can't happen. But it had been escalating since March.
So if he's med compliant, is he pretty much in control and not have these issues when he's med compliant? Or
he is the greatest person on the face of this earth when he's med compliant. He will do anything for anybody, which makes it so much harder to accept when he turns into, this other person. Like, that's it. Mental illness is so stressful. And like, it's hard to watch somebody turn into somebody that, in their heart, they're not. And it's hard. It's especially hard when it's your kid and you can't do anything about it. But he acts just like his biological father. And so I can only suspect that that's probably what his father had going on. I don't know.
That's what his problems were too.
Anger, wanting to fight. Now I know his dad took off to, I think, down to Kentucky, actually. Um,
That's where I'm at. What part?
yeah, not too long ago. And I guess that's where he lives now. I don't know. Like he is not I guess what I'm trying to say is like he was never in my son's life beyond 2 years old.
Yeah.
And my son still turned out this way, like just like
You
him,
had it.
yeah, like the same facial expressions, saying the same, like walking the same. He gets the same crazy eyes when he's like that, and it triggers some serious PTSD for me. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
after this last time of him leaving, um, this has been more recent. PTSD snuck back up on me for the first time in years. And kicked my ass. Like I'm still working on it. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But I would seriously not sleep because I was afraid my son was going to come in and kill us. Like it's not healthy. I'd have my husband double, triple check that every single door and window was locked. And this has just been over the past couple of months. And like it's not cool, right? So I went to I went back to a therapist or a psychiatrist, and she actually encouraged me to get my medical card for marijuana.
Let me ask you a question real quick. When he smokes marijuana,
Mhm.
does it make his condition worse or better?
Makes it worse for him.
Well, the reason I asked that, Don Brake is in the chat, and she's asked what state you live in because she says that medically they can change the strain of the weed to for his symptoms and his illness.
Yeah,
I've seen
but
her make that
you've got to
comment.
get him to go.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Right.
And I
If
can't.
he's not med compliant, but if does he enjoy smoking weed or is
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
see,
Well,
maybe he would be med compliant with the right strain. They could do that. I don't know.
yeah. I've thought about it. Like for him, he's always said like the reason he does it is because it helps him feel normal.
Mhm.
Um, but if to the outside person, you could see that it's clearly not making him normal. I guess normal in his eyes is that unbalanced person, because that's what he would say is like when he would take his meds, he would say, I don't feel like myself. I don't like him. I don't feel like myself.
Right.
Well, I like you, like you're
Yeah.
actually balanced, and we're not fighting, and things aren't getting broken, and you're not a bull in a china shop, so he's got to reach that. That's, I guess, my message is like he's got to deal with this now. Like he's grown now. I will always be his mom and I will always love him, but I can't fix him. And part of me and my dysfunctional past is I feel like I need to fix everybody.
Yeah.
I'm an empath, very strong. And I need to fix him, like especially because he's my kid, but I can't. And at this point, it was either let him go and figure it out on his own or let my own ship sink. And I can't do that. Like my depression came out of nowhere. My depression honestly hasn't bothered me in probably about 20 years, but it just hit me like a freight train, and the PTSD. And so I did end up getting my medical marijuana card 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago.
Well, you
It,
see, with me, that's the thing. Like there'll be periods in my life where my anxiety is just out of control, and there's certain things I cannot do, and then there's times in my life, like right now, I can pretty much do anything and nothing really bothers me. So
right.
it does come and go. I can say that for sure because I deal with that. Um,
Mhm. It
Times when
does.
it's worse on you than
And I think maybe too, it was because it was for the first time in over 20 years that I haven't had to care for him. You know,
yeah,
I didn't have anybody. I guess what you'd say is we're empty nesters. Like it's just me and my husband, and it just like, hey, you know what? We've been holding off and we've been waiting for this for 20 years. Let us smack you down, and now I am on an antidepressant, which is working wonders for me. And then, like I said, the medical marijuana, and there's different strains. Like my thing is I have chronic pain as well. I have a lot of health issues
yeah,
that I've had over the years, and I've had way too many surgeries for one person.
uh,
And so I'm just stuck with chronic pain. couple that with PTSD and my anxiety. So it was really a neat experience going into the dispensary, and there's strains for everything, man.
Well,
There's
I'm
like,
just curious, what state do you live in? You
Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
And
might
we
have
just,
said I didn't know.
yeah, I mean, it's legal recreationally, but
Oh, it
there's,
is?
yeah, it is. It is as of January 1st this year.
See,
Um,
it's not even legal medically in Kentucky yet.
yeah, no, um,
We're always way behind everything.
yeah, right.
We
um,
really are.
yeah, but it's like there's a strain for everything, and like there's
Yeah.
strains that will give me anxiety,
Mhm.
but that gives me like, but then there's the strains for nighttime, and I'll tell you what, I've slept better in the past few weeks than I've probably slept in 20 years. And it's been a game changer for me. So I also, like I was telling you when I was messaging you, we have, I work for an awesome corporation, big corporation. It's a credit reporting agency. And they have what they call employee resource groups,
Mhm.
for like different things, for like your, you know, LGBTQ community, your Indian community, just different ones.
Right, got you.
And I help spearhead and start an employee resource group for mental health, mental illness,
That's awesome.
which is awesome because it helps take away that stigma a little bit. So I'm the site coordinator for our location because our corporation is all over the country, like world. Um, and I work from home, so that's a benefit too. But
Mhm.
I'm able to do all of those things. So it's something I'm really passionate about. Like, and oh, on top of it, I'll wrap this up. My mother, let me backtrack because through all of this craziness, my
Mhm.
mom and my dad ended up getting divorced after my sister graduated high school in 2002. And my mom turned into somebody different too. So that's another thing that I deal with. She started drinking um, a lot. Like this woman will put down a half gallon of vodka in 45 minutes. She
Oh,
should have
no.
died many times over. So I was running to her aid too in the midst of trying to raise my kids. And that's when they were younger. Until I just said, I can't save you from drowning. Like you're on your own.
Is she drinking to this day?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Like, yes, I think yes and no. Like, she'll go through little periods of sobriety and
Mhm.
then she'll fall back off again. In all of that, she's been in, um, 28-day rehabs. I can't even tell you how many times she's been in residential rehabs, um, at least 6 or 7 times. And this has all been since 2002. Um, Most recently, she was found by my cousin. Now, she still lives down in central Illinois, so I'm not anywhere near there. I'm about 3 hours north. But she was found by my cousin, um, with her face all bloody and her eyes black and her glasses broken. And she was drunk off her ass. And to this day, none of us know what happened. But that was a few months ago now. Um,
Mhm.
so that was the most recent. So yeah, she'll go through these little bouts of sobriety. But during all of her treatments, she was also diagnosed as borderline personality disorder. And so it's like I'm surrounded by it. Um,
Mhm.
it's just an ugly mental illness. It seriously is an ugly mental illness. So life's hard, it can be hard. But what I found really helped me is I started a blog a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
It was very cathartic, just to kind of like a my diary for the world to see, about my
Mhm.
life. I've
Right.
never went through it and processed it all, and so that's what I'm doing now. I've got one post up. It takes a lot. I've realized it's taking me a lot to work through it.
Mhm.
and process it. And I want to make sure that I give it enough time to process it before I make my, the next blog post, so that I make sure that I'm staying factual too, and that it's not my mind just like imagining something that happened that didn't, or vice versa.
Right.
So yeah, that's my messed up life story, as about as short as I could possibly make it.
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody tonight might hear this story and, and help them. That's what it's really all about, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody might be in your exact same situation and,
Yeah.
possibly, message you and say, hey, I'm going through the exact same thing. And, people don't believe it, but empty nest syndrome is a real thing to deal with. It's not, made up. It's an actual. It's like the SAD. Have you ever heard SAD, seasonal affective
Yep.
disorder? During the winter,
Yep.
people can become depressed. That's an actual illness or mental illness.
Yeah. It
And
sure
empty
is.
net syndrome is too. It's not. And I've always said, like years ago when I was in my teenage years, which was about 30 years ago now. Anxiety and panic, especially like bipolar, everything like that was not diagnosed like it is today. And
Nope.
there was a stigma to it. And when I first had my anxiety panic attack, I didn't even know what it was. I thought maybe I'd had a stroke or something from a bike wreck I'd had. And it literally scared the hell out of me. And then it was also embarrassing because,
Right.
I told you, like when that happened to me on my first day of junior high school, my hands got so numb that they took on different shapes, and the people were laughing. And when you've got kids at that age and they're laughing at you, that's definitely not going to help what's happening to you at the time.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't. And it was, I didn't even know what I had till I was probably 16 years old. And what I had done was I had quit school,
Mm.
and I was staying up all night because I felt more relaxed at night. Like I was more anxious during the day. And I've heard other people say that too. I don't know if it's where the nighttime is more quiet, more calm, whatever it is to do with that. But during the night, I would feel so much better. So I would stay up at night and then sleep all day.
Yeah.
And I was watching an infomercial, and a person came on. I think it was called the Midwest Mental Health Institute or something like that, and they started talking about anxiety and panic, and it was everything I had been through. And I mean, I couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
I told my dad the next day about what I had seen, and we actually went to a place called comprehensive care. I don't know if other towns have that too. It's
Yeah.
just like that's the only place we really knew of.
Yeah.
And they put me on a medicine called disipramine at the time, and it actually got me where I went back to school and done everything normally. And I don't know if I became where it didn't work anymore or what it was, but it eventually got where the anxiety came back, and I was still taking the same medicine. So uh, it's just and people, they'll say, oh, just calm down, nothing's really happening. And I'll tell everybody, if it's happening in your mind, it's real to you.
Right.
And people don't understand that
Yep.
that's never dealt with anything like anxiety or panic.
Oh, it will take you down without warning. I mean, I've had it. I was, God, I was working at I don't know if you have them down there, but I was working at a Kroger.
We
Um,
do. Yes, we do.
okay. Um, when I was pregnant with my son, but I didn't know that yet. It was giving me panic attacks.
Hmm.
And they actually, so I kind of wonder to this day if that might have something to do with my son and the way that he is, but I look at his dad and I think probably not. But anyway, when I was pregnant with him, but I didn't know yet, I was passing out from like the anxiety, like not even anxiety attack. It was a full blown panic attack for no reason. Like there would be nothing that prompted it. It would just hit me. And I was found on the break room floor in Kroger and rushed out by ambulance, during which they gave me 2 big shots of Ativan.
Hmm.
And because they were starting to suspect, because it was summertime. I don't even know why they thought this, but they started to think I had whatever it is that mosquitoes can give you. So, oh shit, what's the name of it? Anyway, it can make you sick. It wasn't West Nile. God, it was something else that mosquitoes can give you.
Rocky
Anyway,
Mountain fever.
no, I can't even remember what the hell. Anyway, they thought it was that. They ended up giving me and they did pregnancy tests, right, in the emergency room. They did it by blood and urine. And all of them came back negative, but I was still pregnant, and they ended up giving me the Ativan, and then they also did a spinal tap, which is like the things you don't do to a pregnant girl. So by the time that I found out I was pregnant, the doctor had told me, well, Ativan you're not supposed to have while you're pregnant. She's like, it is a red flag drug. She's like, but at this point, it would be all or none, right? So she's like, but long-term effects, she's like, I can't speak to that. So I don't know. Like I said, just knowing my family's history and his dad's history, like I'm pretty certain. But yeah, I honestly didn't, as much as I know about mental illness, like I didn't even know that empty nest thing was like even a real thing. Like it was just like, finally, my mind is like, okay, you don't have to take care of somebody else. Like, so let's deal with you now. And it's definitely a real thing for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's always somebody going through something, and
yeah, exactly.
always. And it may not make sense, or like people say, well, you don't need to share your life with everybody, but at the same time, in the right audience is like, yeah, you do, like, because people need to know that they're not alone, because there's too many people out here killing themselves or suiciding themselves. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it, and I mean it's happening a lot. It's unbelievable.
yeah, I mean, just like these cases that we follow, it's like,
yeah,
I sit there and I think, like, is that going to be my son one of these days? And then I feel guilty for thinking that. And but the reality is that these people are mentally ill, and it happens. If you actually start looking into the mental health of these people that are charged, it's usually bipolar, borderline personality, antisocial personality. I mean, those are some of the worst possible mental illnesses that somebody can have. It's just like, and I see it, and then I hear people say, well, their parents should be ashamed, right?
yeah,
I've done everything in my goddamn power to make sure that my son was a productive human. Like, I've done everything. I've fought, I've advocated, I've fought some more. I've fought the school system. I fought the doctors, like, sometimes there's just, people are going to do what they're going to do. And I hope and pray that it doesn't ever end up that way in my case. But I almost feel sorry for the lashings that some of these parents of killers take, like, because you don't know what they did or they didn't do, So it's just something I'm really passionate about. I think, like, there's no shame in telling your truth or telling your story. And even if it just helps one person, enough to say that you're not alone. Like, people look at me from the outside. I've got a good job. I've got a nice home. I've got a great family. But you don't know what's going on in the inside.
Exactly. You never know what someone's going through. And just the silly little comments people make on YouTube, they don't know how that's affecting somebody.
Right.
And these people, I don't think they realize. With me, I can handle it. But let's say there's another creator that they said some of the things they've said to me too, and they went and committed suicide.
Yep.
How would that person feel if they done that? Would they even have any remorse? Probably not.
Probably not, because I think
don't
there's a
understand
lot
how.
of mental illness that comes out on YouTube, if we're going to be real.
Yeah, believe me, I had, when I first started watching YouTube, it was just for ways to work on my vehicle or something like that, and then I got interested in the Chris Watts case. That's what got me hooked to YouTube. And wow, it was over from there. And I thought, man, I'm going to start a channel.
Right?
And I've told everybody, I was green as can be, and I had no idea. Well, had I known, going back, I would not do a channel. But at the same time, I'm not going to let people run me off. So
Right. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like if you look through YouTube, there's, like I was telling you, there's tons of topics, right? I've been on following people on YouTube and true crime on YouTube for a long time, and it's just like recently, I would say within the past year or two, it has just gotten vicious, like the drama and the stupid shit and the
having
swat.
people swatted, I mean, that is so damn dangerous. For me, you know, let's say I live in Kentucky, and everybody in Kentucky has a gun, and
Right.
if I'm sitting there on my couch and my door gets kicked in, the first thing I'm probably going to do is grab a gun, and then there's 10 SWAT team members going to come in. I'm obviously going to be killed, and somebody is eventually going to get killed, and it's really sad.
Absolutely, it is, and it's just crazy. I think, though, too, when you're behind a keyboard, especially for those that whether they're narcissistic or they're border, like whatever they are, they've got something going on in their head that doesn't make them think logically. Like they feel rationally, they feel like they can be themselves, right? Or they could be whoever they want to be. But on the flip side, when people say like, oh, you could be somebody completely different on the internet, you've got these people that can't be themselves anywhere but online, right? And so they take their stuff online and they just start destroying people for no valid reason other than their own illness and their own satisfaction. And it's sad. I almost feel bad for them a little bit, like that they don't have what they need in the real world, you know, to be a healthy person. But yeah, even just not just you, because I've watched, like, I don't comment very often because I don't get to catch you live very often, but just with what's going on with you. And then, you know, I followed Jay is for Justice too. I've followed a lot of people, and I just see this craziness, and it's like, wow.
Unbelievable.
You know, I always try to see both sides. Like I always try to analyze everything, like why, you know, what is the why behind everything? And I've just learned to accept you're not always going to get that answer, because sometimes like you can't rationalize with an irrational person, you know?
Oh yeah, I know.
So it's just like, but wow, are they crawling out of the woodwork lately? Yeah.
I found out so much stuff about me on other channels. It's unbelievable.
I know. I just don't, like, honestly, I can't even, I've got so much going on in my own life. Like I hear it, but it's like, because part of me before I started this blog thought, do I go on YouTube and create a channel about mental health, right? And now it's like, no, I don't. I do it on a blog, and that way there's nobody there. And there's always a risk with anything you do online, but I was just like, no, I don't even want that drama, because it doesn't matter who you are on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, there is going to be drama. I don't know what's wrong with the community. I like, as far as I think it's just because it's open to everybody, right? And it takes all kinds of people to make the world go round.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I look at it.
It really blows my mind, the stuff that you say and everything, and people just believe it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, you know, I was having a conversation with someone today, and they said, you're responsible for everything that's said on your Facebook channel. And I was like, no, I'm not. Some of these people have time to read every comment on every channel. Where do they find this time? If I work and I sleep, and then I try to do this in the evenings, and I don't get to read all the comments. And I was telling this person, I said, each person is responsible for their own comments.
Right. We're all grown.
We need to realize that.
Right.
I can't control what anybody says on my Facebook page.
Right. No.
It's like I'm in an no-win situation. I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. If I delete the comments, I'm an asshole. If I don't delete the comments, I'm an asshole. So which way is it?
Right. There is
an asshole.
It's your way. Just do it your way, and that's all you can do, because it's gonna happen whether you acknowledge it or not. It's gonna happen, because there's just I don't even understand. Like, I don't know. Like, there must be a lot of people that just sit at home on YouTube all day.
They, they say I'm unemployed, but how they must be too, because I don't know how in the hell they find the time to do this.
Hours all day, all night. Like, I don't know what they do, other than maybe they're monetized for trolling. Hell, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it could happen. I don't know.
AD did always say that people get paid to do it, and I mean, who knows?
Well, you never know. Like, creators go after other creators, and this is the only platform I've seen it in, and I don't understand that, for the life of me. Like, shouldn't you all be encouraging each other? And like, it's not like you're trying to take away somebody else's channel. There's plenty of people to go around. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There's plenty of people to go around. So.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for telling your story. I really appreciate it. And
You bet.
message me anytime you'd like.
Absolutely.
We've got Soul Eyes waiting to come on and talk. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank Vanessa for coming on tonight and telling us her story. And if you want to come on again sometime, just let me know. Like I just said last night, I think you had a really good idea with doing this once a week or something. So
yeah, I just think it'd be cool. Just give somebody a platform that normally wouldn't. Like I said, I'm never going to start a YouTube channel. I'm just not going to do it. But if it's something even just weighing on their mind, let them have a voice. And
you don't know, somebody that was in the chat tonight could have been experiencing something that you helped them with, and we may never know, and we might know. Somebody might come on and say, "Hey, I was having this kind of day." So, but anyway about it, it's not hurt anyone for sure. And it maybe help somebody.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all much for listening to me ramble about my crazy life and everything like that. And I hope some of you guys come on and talk and share your story too.
Yeah, like you said, you don't comment a lot or anything like that, so maybe you'll help other people that don't want to comment sometimes to tell us going through.
Absolutely. I'm a talker. I will talk for days. So
I am too, believe me. Talk your head off. So, but thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have
Hello, Soul.
Hey, Betty. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Does this sound any better?
Oh yeah, you sound a lot better.
Okay, I got headphones in, but they're kind of screwed up.
Yeah, you sound a lot better.
Thank you. So I'm not going to get into my long story because it's like 5 times longer than hers. But I just want to say that I've seen the bullshit that you've gone through with these other people. And I think that you need to concentrate on just do your channel and do it the way you want to do it. Yeah. What you say, I hate it when people say, don't talk about that. Don't apologize. Screw that, man. It's your channel.
Last night I was really cranky because I was getting over my sickness, and they said, "Boy, he was awfully arrogant last night." So they've already wrote a description for me. I just don't get it.
I laugh. It's freaking hilarious, but I don't. They've left me alone now for some reason. Thank God.
Yeah.
But they can't get off your ass for some reason.
Oh, I'm going to play a little bit of a song here.
Okay.
Give me a second. Okay. And this is what it reminds me of. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Thank you all guys that were asking about me too.
Yeah, a lot of people was like, "Hey, are you going to have time for?" And of course, I'm going to make time.
Yeah, you always have to do a 3-way sometimes.
Oh, yeah, we always have that.
Yeah.
So here we go. So
okay,
well, it's going to be a commercial first.
Grammarly helps.
I'll mute the commercial. All right. This is what they have for me. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah. Put your camera on and start dancing.
Totally. I am dancing.
I am too. I'm over here just like, I don't know. I do like this song, you know. This is
Yeah. It
this
is
is where I grew up.
it's crazy. It's crazy town, man. But yeah, sometime I'll come on and I'll talk about my depression because, like, before I found you and I was on the Chris Watts deal, I was in a major, major, major depression for like 2 years.
Uh-huh.
So we'll get into that some other time because I know you like to be in bed at a certain time, and you know it's fun.
I feel better today than I felt in a long.
You look better. You look good.
Yesterday, I never said one time that I had had the flu for 9 days, and now
Yeah.
that is what's being said. And where do they come up with this shit?
I don't know. They pull shit out of their ass, and I don't know. I've never seen anybody so obsessed with you in my entire life, and I've never seen anybody obsessed with somebody like they are with you.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I mean, it's stalkerish.
yeah.
You know.
Hey,
And you're right.
Give me if that's a copyright song. As long as I just play little clips of it, we'll be all right. I can play clips of it.
I already got a copyright strike on some music. I was pissed off. I was like, "What?"
Well, I have never got a strike. I got what happened was where I'm monetized.
Yeah.
My daughter was playing. Do you know the TikTok thing? The kids.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
She was doing the TikTok, and she happened to be standing beside me, and she played a song. And the next day, I got a message, and it just says, since that was monetized, it will go to the creator of that song.
Oh, well.
Any trouble?
Awesome.
They just take the money from me and gave it to him.
Oh.
I know, Kelly. I was messing with you too. Kelly said she was joking that she knew how they like to report, and now they're calling this disease the moxpox, the man flu. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was playing something about depression. It was an alternative rock song, but I showed it on. I was like videotaping it too. So I don't know if I would have got a copy strike if I wouldn't have showed it on the TV.
Now, the only thing I have gotten in trouble for on YouTube, and it was a warning, was I don't know if you was on the night I showed the church shooting. Did you watch that?
I was on the night somebody sent you a link, and you were like, "I'm going to get a copyright strike," and you had to kill the live.
Oh no, that wasn't it. They actually had a guy in a church, and it was very graphic. It showed the guy shoot 2 people, and then the concealed carry person took out the perpetrator. They killed him instantly, and I played that video, and they gave me a warning.
Wow.
Okay, so
but they can show it, but you can't. Huh?
Oh yeah, so here we got to play a little bit more.
you just want us to dance.
I actually do like this song because I grew up with this music.
Yeah, that was when music was good. So how long did you have the flu, and did you have influenza?
Well, I started feeling bad probably last Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I went to the quick care center. It was either whatever day that I put it on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I know they'll probably say, "Oh, he doesn't even know," but I was literally sleeping like around the clock.
Right. No, I've had influenza. That shit is bad.
So to be honest with you, I don't remember whatever day I posted on Facebook that I had the flu is when I had went to the quick care center.
Yeah.
And they run that thing up your nose or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Check to see what strain you got. Yeah, I've had it 3 times. The first time I got it, I thought I was freaking dying. I was in bed for 3 solid straight days.
Yeah.
Me and my son both had it at the same time, and we were just like zombies in bed. We could not move. We couldn't do shit. We hurt all over.
How old is your son?
Well, he's 20. He's going to be 25 March 3rd.
Now, does he live with you?
No, he lives by himself.
Well, if he did live with you, I was going to demand to know why.
But he almost moved in. Him and his girl split up, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do." And I was like, "Well, you can move in. I have no problem with that." As a matter of fact, my sister's daughter's 30, and she lives at home still. My fiance's daughter is 21, and she still lives at home. So it's the thing these days. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
You're helping them out. As long as they're working and saving money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they were laying around the house not doing anything, I would have a major problem with that.
Yeah. Well, see, my son's girlfriend, she's at work right now, and of course, I told I'm not going to say where she works because
that's
stupid of me.
Absolutely.
But she does work, and she's at work right now. So
yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't let that shit bother you.
You know what? It did a little bit at first, and then I got who are these people? I'm never going to meet these people.
You're not going to meet them. They are dust in the wind. You know it? They're here today, gone tomorrow. These people won't be around. You're going to be around. You got a lot of subs. You got a lot of fans.
Well, now hold on. According to them, I lost 4,000 subs in one day.
No.
I swear that's what they said.
Well, I never heard that one, but still, you did not. Hopefully you gained.
I took how many subs I had off because it seemed like when I went from 1,100 to 4,100, that suddenly people were just turning on me like anything.
Yeah. Well, I know you lost. I know you lost some because I saw your numbers. But the thing about it is, Mox, you've got to come on. You've got to come on. You've got to come on. When you disappear and I'm the same way with my channel. I'm not on that often, and when I am, it's like a minute or two. But people tend to forget about you. They move on, find somebody else. So you got to make an appearance at least 2 or 3 times a week. Even if you're sick, you just come on and say, "Hey, I'm dying, but I'm still
alive." I'm damn near dead, but I'm still here. Uh-oh, we just lost her. She just took off on us. She might have accidentally hit the X button. So we'll wait for her to get back, and we'll play a little music. Kelly said for me to turn it down a little bit. How's that, Kelly? Okay, here she is back. Where'd you go?
I don't know. This thing's times out or something. It did it earlier. And, but I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you like to, I know you have to get up early and all that good stuff.
Hell, I'm good. As good as I feel tonight.
You look fantastic, by the way. I'm not flirting with you either, guys.
Well, hey, you know how I am. I'm grooming you right now. So
yeah, that's gonna take a lot of grooming.
Oh, dude,
lots of grooming.
God, I didn't even know what grooming was. I swear to God, I didn't even know what that was. I had to look it up. I'm like, I'm a groomer. I've got to find out what I am.
You are not like a freaking 50-year-old man grooming an 8-year-old child. That's what grooming is, really. How can you groom an adult? The
conversation with was 46, and I'm 42. So.
Exactly.
And you know, they said that I took advantage of her because she had depression and anxiety. I have depression and anxiety. Yes. Why didn't they say she took advantage of me?
Exactly. But you know what? Even more, you guys have something in common, which is usually what brings people together.
Yeah,
right?
And said, how about some donations for the grooming? And then in 2 months, you can ask for them back.
There you go. Yeah, they want their money back. Oh, I'm pissed off at Ron. I want my money back.
What is the deal with that?
That's bullshit. That's what that is.
I want just further. I want to tell this to YouTube lady because I've seen some of her comments.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
On
never
Cassius.
said that she did not make 3 donations. She did. What I
Yeah.
said is her first donation was for 59 cents. I showed that
What
with
the hell?
it probably was an accident.
Hell,
Yeah,
it cost you that much to send it back.
but now that she no longer likes the channel,
Right.
and as you can see, the green screen's up.
Yeah, I love it, by the way. Love it.
Here's the thing about a green screen, and this is what I had to find out: is the green screen is the software that you use to run it. That's what I had a problem with.
Exactly.
I had the green screen. I had to figure out how to use the damn thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue.
And I don't want
not have a
a
clue.
lime green wall up behind me while I'm on. So
I loved your boxing one, your wrestling one. I'm sorry.
that
I
one,
like the other one. It had the Moxley or whatever. Your guy that you like. Yeah, that's not it. Can you hear me? Okay.
yeah, good.
Okay, because it's
Clicking on
just,
it. There it is.
oh, that's why you're clicking on it. You're going in and out. No, I don't. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's cute. That's the guy you like, right?
Oh yeah, that's Braun Strowman.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's cute. I like that for you.
Yeah, I like it.
I
Dr. B. Hello, Dr. B. I think they said Dr. B. Is here.
Oh, awesome. Now, is she the one that was with Armchair?
Yes, correct.
Awesome.
Somebody just said Dr. B and put a heart. I haven't. Yeah, she's here.
Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Dr. B.
Hello, Dr. B.
I got in on some of that conversation with Armchair Detective, or listened. I never comment, but she's awesome.
Ange, let me put this comment up. Ange says they'll have to move on to another scam accusation. The green screen's up. Leprechaun Sperm is going to spitting his words out now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then Kelly says,
I like Ange. Yeah. I like Ange. Is she from Australia or England?
Yeah,
or?
Australia.
Awesome.
And then now Kelly says, you are tech savvy. That's how you created all those quotation marks, fake messages. Why couldn't you figure out the green screen?
Yeah. Now listen, there's an app where you can create fake messages. So you got to watch out for people doing that.
Well, you know that, you know who we're talking about. He actually put a video up where he showed that he could manipulate messages.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but
what makes us sit here and think that they did not manipulate the messages they showed for me?
Exactly.
Gingy
it wouldn't surprise me.
She just wants everyone to know that she received some of the money from me for the Heidi donation.
That's awesome.
The money was released from the PayPal. People are asking why it's being held so long. I guess it's because so many people are accusing me of scamming.
Well, and sometimes PayPal will do the pending thing and won't send it through right away.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it was pending, and then it was supposed to be released on a certain date.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of people, like YouTube lady and a couple people, are contacting PayPal.
Yeah.
PayPal told me, I emailed them and asked, and if they make a donation to your channel, they can't regret it.
No, screw that.
If you go to Walmart, you regret buying something. Walmart, right. But some stores, if you can exchange something just because you regret making the purchase.
But you can't. I don't think you can go buy a car and say, "Hey, I don't like that car. I'm going to take it back." You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's don't donate if you're going to regret it. Don't. Yeah, that shows something's not right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't feel guilty about any of it because I can't ever remember hearing you ask for a donation. I've heard you say, if you want to donate, that was a long time ago, but you don't say anything.
Well, I will. The girl that emailed me and asked, and she said, and I can show the email. Angie sent
Yeah.
it actually up on my Facebook page. Is she said, "I've seen that you've helped people in the past." She says, "My electric is about to be cut off. Could you help me with this?" Now, I don't
Yeah.
want to say this girl's name and embarrass her because
Right.
that would embarrass me.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so what happened and one person, Trisha, I won't say her last name for
Right.
she
Right.
made a large donation. Um, and I sent it the next morning to the girl. And I have, here's what happened. I thought the emails were in my Gmail account.
Yeah.
Then I looked in my Yahoo account, and we was actually emailing each other before I made my Gmail account.
Right.
So I have all the messages between me and this girl, and they're up on my Facebook page. You can go look at them.
Oh, I'll go check it out
Where
sometime.
she said, "Thank you for sending the money." She said she
Oh,
would
yeah.
post it that she paid her bill, and I said that wasn't necessary because with me, if I make a donation to someone
Yeah.
for a certain reason, if they screw me and they go do something else with that money, that's on them.
That's exactly right.
My intention of what I done was from the heart, and that's all I can do.
Exactly. Exactly. For sure. You can't let these little
Did you hear
creeps
that
poke you.
troll? The green screen is up. Genji got cash. Tell your friends.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's me. Exactly.
So I don't know.
I don't know, but you've got dogged on way too much, and it's so unfair. And that's why I have never left I left your side for a little while, and you know when that was. We talked about that.
Yeah, I seen
But I
your,
was
I seen
like,
your video that you just say, "Oh, he'll never see this."
yeah.
But
But
this is
always
why,
say
though.
that. But you're such a humble guy, so I mean,
No, hold on. I'm a person. I've got a mask on.
no, you don't.
I'm,
You're always the same, always,
I,
always.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Are
I
you
will say
ever?
this. I'm glad I found out what kind of people these were, especially being
Yeah,
mods on my channel,
yeah.
because what they done to me was it was unbelievable. The links that
Oh my
especially
God.
one person went through because they were heartbroken.
Yes. Well, that's crazy for you. That's straight up crazy for you. Yeah, I mean, not. I mean, crazy for you, but they were just crazy, like over the top, psychotic, crazy. Don't
Oh,
you think? I mean, that's nutsville right there. That's not normal. No way.
yeah.
I mean, that's scary. And that swatting shit. You're absolutely right. If that happened to me, I'd be grabbing my 38 and I'd get shot.
The Journey to Justice. I like that name, by the way, just so you know. It says, "Who cares what you do with your money if people gift you money?"
Exactly.
So
That's exactly right. It's their gift. It's a gift. Like I said last night, it's a gift to you. And if you've got to, go buy some equipment, or if you've got to pay a bill, or if you got to go buy a new hat, who gives a shit?
well, Ange told me, she's like, "Hey, go buy you a pack of cigarettes."
Exactly. If you're gonna buy cigarettes or
my Patreon.
food, exactly.
She said she wished I would quit, but
well, yeah.
Genji Me says she can screenshot the PayPal. Nah, Genji, we ain't going to do that. Like, we don't have to prove anything to them.
Nah.
This is between me and you, and
Yeah.
God knows the truth. And as long as you know it, and I know it, and God knows it, who cares what they know? In my opinion.
Exactly. Don't let those little freaks bug you.
Yeah,
I mean, there's only 3 of them that are really on your ass.
Yeah, there's 3 of them that are dedicating this song to me tonight. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That just means they love you. They just love you to a point of crazy.
Yeah, you guys are my minions.
Oh, well, I'm no minion, but yeah, they can kiss my ass.
They say I send out my women to attack people because I can't do it myself.
But I don't attack anybody. I just show them love.
I don't either, really.
Yeah. No, you don't. You don't.
And people have to realize that you're not attacking someone when you're simply
standing up. Right. Standing up for yourself. Yep. It's really, I watch it, and I heard what you said about the guy, and that you couldn't understand a word he said. And I'm like, I can't either. Like,
Oh,
you know
I
what
can't.
I'm talking
The only
about.
thing I understand that he says is Brawny boy and weed. That's all I can understand.
I know. It's
The,
like,
the rest of it, he sounds like a chihuahua that's really upset, and she's gone again, and she'll be back. So, oh, good Lord. So we'll play a little more music while we wait for her to come back.
yep, I'm back.
You got to quit doing that.
I know. My connection, my internet's slow. I need to bump it up. I don't, I just started doing this, and this is only, well, I've done one live and it was stupid, but this is the first time I've ever been in with somebody. So I need to buy a better, I need to get a better laptop, but this isn't a laptop, but a better computer. My iPhone wouldn't connect. It said use Safari, and I thought Safari was on my iPhone. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be.
It's a little too over my head. I need somebody to show me how to do shit.
Well, Safari is just what you use for the internet browser on your iPhone.
Well, I use Chrome. I do.
You use what?
Chrome. Google.
Chrome. Okay. On your iPhone?
Yeah. I
Really?
downloaded. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. I downloaded it, and that's. I mean, I don't like it that much.
That kind of proves my tech savviness. The fact that I don't even know you can put Chrome on an iPhone. So.
Yeah, that's what I use. But so then it wouldn't let me do that, so I had to get on my not my laptop, but my desktop.
says, I'm not even going to lie. I had to put it on closed caption to understand what he was saying, and I'm really not trying to be mean. I don't cut people down.
No, I know.
Believe that. I do.
Well,
I can understand him. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't. But see, I was born in England and in Banbury. Yeah. And my mom's English. My brother was born there, and I was born there. My dad was military. And I don't have the accent, but my mom does. And so I can usually understand people pretty good, but I can't understand a word he says. But English people would tell you that Americans speak like birds. They sound like birds. We talk fast. But see, I think he talks fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I took Spanish when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And of course, you learn the words really slow. But if you ever talk to somebody that's from Mexico, they talk so fast.
Oh my God.
That you really can't understand it. Unless you get really, fluent in the language. Nicole R says, does closed caption even understand him? LOL. Probably.
That's hilarious.
It's like you remember the movie Airplane?
Yeah.
When the two black guys are talking and they put the subtitles down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That was, that's an old movie, but that's still a funny one. Well, you need to take this man to the hospital. What is it? It's a big building where you take sick people, but that's not important right now. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Oh my God. Well, how much do you smoke a day, by the way?
I smoke probably a pack a day. I smoke more like when I'm on here, when I'm doing something. For instance, if I'm going to watch TV or something, I probably won't smoke for maybe an hour or two.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're talking, it's like when you're drinking. Yeah. And, you've always got to smoke when you're drinking because that's just the way it is and talking. And I know I'm a smoker. So I quit for a couple of years and I just vaped, and my vape started acting stupid. So I started smoking. So I know it's a hard
habit right now.
Oh, well, I'm not smoking right at the moment, but I'm smoking. Yeah.
You're a smoker.
Yeah, I'm a smoker.
Years ago, like I said, I've never had a problem with alcohol. I've always been able to just drink and then I can drink 6 beers tonight and never drink again for 2 years.
Yeah.
But back when I was younger, I would go to bars and me and my friends, we would all go to the bar and we would, get pitchers of beer and we would drink. They used to have what was called Drink and Drown Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
You paid $5 to get in and you could drink all the Miller Lite beer you wanted. Well, now this was well, 20 years ago now.
Well, yeah, yeah, back then.
So we would go drink these pitchers of beer, and I had quit smoking, and I'd probably quit smoking for 6 to 8 months. It was quite a long
Yeah.
time. And I was at the bar, and I wanted a cigarette, and I hadn't
Yeah.
smoked in 6 to 8 months, and it was the nastiest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like I just ate an ashtray. But you know what?
Yes.
I wanted another cigarette.
And another, yeah. I hate the way they smell. I hate the way they smell on people.
It's the worst
And
thing ever.
yeah, it
It
stinks.
really is.
And
It's a very, like my finger. I showed my friend my finger today because I always hold my cigarette in one hand.
yeah.
And my index finger is literally like a nickel.
Oh no, yellow.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know
can
if you.
remember when I was a kid, I would go to one of my dad's friend's house, and his fingers was like that. He had really long fingernails, and he was
Wow.
a older man. And I thought, man, that's weird.
Yeah, it is.
But,
I don't know if you can get that off or not either, can you?
they say that you can take toothpaste or fingernail
Yeah.
polish remover and a toothbrush, and it'll take it off. I don't know how to try.
Wow. You're gonna have to try it.
And, you know, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so happy
Yes.
Valentine's Day to
Thank you.
everyone.
Gonna party hardy.
Well, I told the story last night that
Yeah, I heard that.
my
I
dad
felt.
passed away on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's never been a day that I really celebrate. So
I know. I was really sad. I made that little tiny video for you, really. And then I had those little hearts and stuff. And there was I didn't watch your whole live yet. I hadn't seen that part of your live yet. And then I was like, oh my God.
well, I'm
feel
pretty
so
cantankerous in that live, so don't just ignore my cranky ass attitude.
Oh no. I thought you did a fantastic live.
Some
I
people
did.
said I was cocky in that video. I was super
No,
cocky.
I don't think you were. I think you were honest and heart touching and just brutally honest. And I think you were you. And I like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I'm just tired of the shit, you know. Just hey, cut the
Totally.
shit.
Yeah.
Move on with your
Move
life.
on.
You know what I mean? Move.
I,
And I watched one of his videos this morning. He's like, "I'm not going to stop. I'm going
oh
to
my
making these
God.
videos." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Well, just, after a while, though, people will stop watching and they'll be
Well,
like,
you know,
there's
like
something wrong with this dude.
well, when he started his channel, he was doing it to AD, so he can't really complain. And I was like, I did parodies of AD maybe once a week.
Right. And I kind of missed that in a way. That was fun.
And you know, Armchair Detective, he talked about that, you know, a certain creator making 8 videos a day about him.
Yeah.
I've got somebody
Yeah.
doing that about me.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
somebody of the same sex as me is what kind of freaks me out.
yeah, it's kind of
And
weird.
that's not a homophobic statement. Nobody freaked out.
No. What was weird though is that he was. I mean, I remember when he first started coming on the scene on your lives, and I was like, "Who the hell is Cassius?"
Mhm.
And because you kept, you'd always say, "Hi, Cassius." You'd always talk to him,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know it was a guy. But then the next thing I know, he's a moderator, and I'm like, okay, he must be pretty cool. No, not even close. He's terrible person. That's so mean what he does.
Well, he put in
I
his
think he's
video
lonely.
that he checked to make sure that the schools were out in my area. You know, when I announced I had the flu, I told that the sickness is real badness, and it really is. You know, school districts were closed for
Yeah,
a week. Now,
I heard that.
the county I live in, they were not closed. My daughter actually lives in the next county over. We only live about 20 minutes apart, but we're in different counties.
Right.
And the county she was in, the school system closed. So he actually checked for the county I live in for some reason.
Oh
I don't
my
know why anybody
God.
would go to that extreme.
Why? Why?
That's what I don't understand.
That's obsessive disorder. It's obsessive compulsive disorder. That's some kind of problem. But you know what? You got to laugh it off and just keep doing what you're doing. Like it's so hard to come up with content, and like I don't even know how you keep up with all the crime, the true crime. I'm like blown away. There's so much. How do you keep?
To be honest with you, where I work so much, and of course I have to sleep, I really don't keep up with it that good.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it. And, a lot of you guys that's in the chat,
Yeah.
know a lot, and it's it's kind of like a group where everybody gets together and
Hmm.
we share information. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely in your group.
we can come up with ideas, that
I know they found that little South Carolina 6-year-old girl
yeah,
dead by
yeah,
another dead man. What the
yeah.
hell? So he
Uh,
probably what raped her maybe and then
uh,
killed her,
that
killed his son.
oh
I mean, I know it's speculation, but what the hell? They haven't said it, have they?
I don't know. I to be honest with you, I really haven't seen. Somebody in the group earlier was talking about it. Um, and I can't remember who. I apologize, but like I tell people, when you have 4,100 subscribers, it's really hard to keep up with everyone.
Oh my God, I can't even keep up with 100.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. That's, but you know what? You're my number one. I'm a oney where I just really like to go to one channel. I'll surf a little bit, but I'm a homing pigeon. So I'll go back and I always come back to you. So because you're interesting to me.
But you be careful now.
No, 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 no. Nobody take that the wrong way.
I'm gonna grab me a pop real quick.
Okay. Yeah, nobody take that the wrong way. Ron knows that I'm not coming on to him. I'm not doing that. He's just I'm grooming him. I'm grooming him.
Soul Eyes is grooming Braun Moxley tonight.
I'm grooming him to be a better man. No, no, that's so silly. I'm not.
Well, this is a true story. I was raised in a place called Hungry Holler.
Right.
That's seriously.
Yeah, I believe
We
you.
always made a joke that if you get hungry, you just go outside and holler, and somebody will bring you food. So
That's pretty cool. I've been to Kentucky once.
yeah.
And I know Kelly Kells. She's from Kansas City, I think, or somewhere around there. And so,
Did you see that comment on the screen?
yeah, Ronnie, it ain't gonna happen, bud. Ron and I's talked a lot, via other ways, and no.
Yeah.
I've got a fiance, and he would freaking kill me if he thought. He does call Braun my boyfriend, though. Oh, you're watching your boyfriend, huh? I'm like, he's not my boyfriend, but okay. Yes, I'm watching him. No, he would absolutely no. He might even be watching this for all I know.
Oh, really? So, was he at work or something now? Or?
Well, he's a truck driver, so he's sleeping, but he knows my channel and he knows your name because I told him, hey, I watch him, because I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you as a friend, and as a creator.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is like a girl and a guy can't be friends without being of having something going on.
Exactly. That. Yeah, we have never once ever said one sideways word to each other. Well, except I have told you I love you. I love you because when I feel real connected to somebody, I tell them that.
Yeah.
I love you. It's just a term of endearment.
Well, it's like this. Well, I forgot what I was going to say now. I do that when I start reading the
comments.
I read the comments and I forget what I'm going to say. So
yeah,
I don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah, it's beyond. It's
beyond my comprehension, and
yeah.
I'll put it to you like this: if I ever become that obsessed with one creator, and then that's what they say, well, you work with AD, and I'm like, not really. I would make one parody a week.
Right. What'd you make? Maybe 4 or 5 total? I mean, there's not that many parodies, but I don't know. Do you even watch AD anymore?
No, here lately I haven't had time. I haven't even had time, and of course, been sick.
Yeah.
And,
but what about Mary Marlowe, though? We talk about addiction and what happened. Look what's happened to her. Have you been keeping up?
Yeah. Now I did watch one of her videos because somebody told me about that. That you had a pain pill prescription problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, apparently
she go to detox. Is that what she said? She went to detox?
But she says she tried to kill herself right before that. So, she gets a bunch of shit too. a lot of hate, you know, like you and like AD and like all the other ones. And, you know, I'm not taking up for her, and I'm not, you know, talking bad about her either.
Yeah.
But you know, you've gone through all the hate. She gets a lot of that hate too.
Well, it's like this, and this is one thing I've come to realize. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, sir. Um, you know, after being on YouTube, when you have to expect certain things when you put yourself on a public platform.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well,
because I was like, what did I do to deserve this? And I was like, well, like, you know, I put myself on YouTube, so
yeah. Well, I've worked with the public for a long time, and you cannot please everybody at all.
oh God,
You
no.
know, 1 out of 5 people are going to hate your guts for whatever reason, whether it's the way you look or the way you talk or the way you act. You just can't please people. So you just have to be you, and the good ones will stay and the bad ones will leave.
Yeah, and that's what me and Kelly we've talked about
Yeah.
is the fact that I'm glad to have found out how these people really were.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it was pretty painful watching all that go down though. My heart went out to you. I thought, oh my God, how can people be so cruel? And it was so obvious though what really was going on when you did the lives with that certain person.
yeah, you know,
And
some people have told me that after the fact. Then I'm like, why didn't you say something when?
I kind of made that video
Them
after
so much.
that.
You know, I did trust them. And,
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's easy. You're a very trusting guy, so it's easy to get caught up in and I'm not. I'm like, what do they want? You know,
well, see, I'm not now. There's been
no,
so many people ask me if they can be a mod for the channel. Of
right.
course, Sarah, she's a mod. She stayed. She
Yeah.
was the only one that stayed. And
Yeah.
then Kelly,
Yeah.
you know, I trusted her because she told me pretty much what I needed to hear, even if I
Yeah.
didn't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
that's what a true friend does.
Yes.
They tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. And
Yep. I think Kels and I are on the same page. I
yeah,
don't see the other mod too often, but Kels is she's a good one.
yeah.
She's a good
I
one.
think Sarah's been under the weather a little bit here lately.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I like Kels. I think she's awesome, and
Oh
she's from
yes,
my state. So
I love Kelly, and I know people's going to run and take that. But as a friend,
yeah, you told me that.
she's a great person.
Yeah.
And anybody that puts her down on YouTube and the internet really doesn't know who Kelly is.
No,
And
she's
if I was going to battle, I would have Kel on my side every day of the week. Besides
yeah,
the other 4 that took off. So
exactly. No, she's a good one, and so was the other Sarah. That I think that's what you said her name was.
yeah, Sarah
That
West.
stayed around. That speaks volumes that she stayed around. You know,
Yeah.
when the others were whispering behind your back in chat, talking smack about you, so wrong. You know. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. I'm super glad you're back, and you know, thank you, and I appreciate that. You've got really nice people, really nice subs.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, you really do. They're really awesome.
I have some
Now,
really loyal subs too,
you do. You really do.
and that could
And
see through the bullshit, and
yeah,
that's
for
exactly
sure.
what it was. And
That's
I
what
mean, it came out of their own mouth that it was a
yeah.
setup from November. They was setting me up since November.
Why did they want to set you up though? What were they gonna get? They jealousy or
I have no idea. That's just
that's
what was
I
said.
mean, no. I believe it. I believe it. But what were they going to gain from that? Just meanness. That's all that is. Meanness.
And you know, I know I don't have my subscriber count up, and people saying I've lost subscribers. I have more subscribers today than I've ever had.
Awesome.
So the channel is still growing.
Good.
And you know, somebody told me the other day, they said when your channel has 20,000 subscribers, they'll probably think, man, I could have been a part of that.
Right. Exactly.
They're
And
changing.
your channel will grow. You just got to come on. You just got to come on. I know you were sick and you were off for like 2 weeks, and I was thinking to myself, I need to email or text Braun and say, get your ass back on, because I was afraid that it was hurting your count.
Well, the first time I went off, I was saying I had to make a decision. Was I going to come back or no? And when I came back, I said, well, I know how YouTube is now, so I can't use the excuse anymore of I'm green and don't know, because I got put through the ringer really quick on YouTube.
Yeah, you did.
In my
Like,
opinion.
they nailed you to the cross really quick, for
Jesus.
sure.
I mean, good Lord. I was like, what in the hell did I do? It's like, what?
Nothing. Well, what you did was you found somebody that you liked, and you guys confided in each other, and then somebody got a hold of that information and was jealous, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then they turned it all on you, like you were the bad guy, and you weren't. You were just being a normal male. I mean, what guy wouldn't do that? Seriously. What guy would not do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for having me on, Braun, and thank you all your subs. And I love you guys, and I love you, Braun.
Well, thank you.
And we'll get back together and we'll go over my anxiety and depression story sometime when we've got more time.
Okay. That sounds
I'm afraid my connection is going to shit out again. It's only done it 5 times.
That's good. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. I really
Thank you, brother.
And then one night, you can come on and tell us your story.
Aw, your subs are so sweet.
Yeah, well, I've got some good ones. I've got some ones that are, they say that I sick them on people.
No.
I've never sick on anyone. I've even put that on my Facebook page. Please do not do it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But at the same time, if you're defending someone or taking up for someone,
exactly.
It's like don't go out and start a fight, but don't let somebody beat the hell out of it.
Hey, if they start it, we're gonna finish it. That's just the way it is. But my thing is, kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness and love. And because they can't come back at you if when you did that apology video, nobody could talk smack about you. Nobody. Even though it wasn't good enough for them, it was good enough for all of us.
It was good enough for God.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he knew,
he's the judge, So you're right.
That's what I said. As long as I repented and cleared my conscience,
exactly.
It's up to the other person whether they accept the apology or not. So
that's totally right. Totally right. But I think sometimes too, maybe you having people on like we're doing tonight is good. Get some interesting people to talk about whatever. I know you got a lot of true crime people that want you to talk about true crime.
Yeah.
And I wish I was a little more up on it.
Ronnie.
Yeah. Good night. Good night. Whoever listened to me.
Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. And no, Ronnie and I aren't, or Ron and I aren't doing anything. We're just friends. So he made that comment because he was right. People will talk.
He was playing.
Yeah, I know he was. That's why I was playing back. But I'm not drunk, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a low blow there. Okay. All right, hon. I'm gonna get off here, but you guys have a good night, and I'll let you wrap up your live.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye. Good night.
Bye. All right, guys. It's just me and you now. So we'll finish our song, and then I'll probably cut off because it's been 2 hours and 36 minutes, which is pretty cool. How does everyone like the screen? It's like a new toy. I really like that. I need to. I need to find out how to play a video now on it. I really do. Oh, and by the way, guys, just let me tell you this. I'm getting ready to go take a bathroom break. Really, I just got to go wee. Got to go pee. I don't got to do the other. But hello, Fran. Um, Somebody said they never heard the water when I went to the bathroom. Let me explain. I hit what is called the mute button, and that way you guys don't hear anything here because the bathroom's right over there, and I just didn't want you guys hearing the toilet flush and then the water running. Just wanted to tell you guys that. So I'm going to hit the mute button, and then I'm going to go use the bathroom, and then I will be back. So give me just a second, please. I will play another song for you guys while I go to the bathroom. So I won't mute it, but you'll be able to hear the music. Be right back. Hello, everyone. Gingy me, good night, I guess. I see someone saying good night to you. So I'll say good night, Gingy. You need to play the song Me Too by Megan Trainor. Okay. Me Too, Megan Trainor. Give me just a second, please.
Writing's not that easy, but grammar
Sad
can
first.
help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
He's back. By the way, earlier somebody was saying they couldn't comment for 20 seconds. So I went and I took the slow mode off. Just for you, so you guys know.
Who's that sexy thing I see over there? That's me, standing in the mirror. What's that icy thing hanging around my neck? That's gold. Show me some respect.
Oh yeah, I better not sniff too much. I went to the bathroom. I gotta pause it every so often so I don't get in trouble. So as long as I pause it every so often, and it's me says Braun was doing coke in the John. Be careful saying that. The last time I figured out that I came on and was joking and saying, that I had done a lot of cocaine, and man, that really went off the rails. Geez, I don't know what else to say. Here's my beautiful bookcase, guys, that I've always wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys can see this up here in the corner, but that's my little Ron guy. Cool, hey, right? Hey, cool, hey, mate, right? Off the rails. Get it? Oh wow! At 2 hours and 45 minutes, I would like to see some of those other guys do that. You know what I mean, man. You have to play "F.U." By Lily Allen and dedicate it to your fans. I believe three little boys of my own. I'm a single mom, kind of dreading those teenage years. I tell you. I think I got a song I can think of. Look at the song right here, guys. Let me know if that's too loud.
I heard that you've been talking about me, walking around without a tear in your eyes. Airing out my dirty laundry.
Yeah.
While trying to suck my whalebone dry.
Yeah. Revealing my criminal record.
Nothing but complicated. Everything you preach is a lie.
Amen.
Everything I try, you hate.
You pick apart everything I say.
Why don't
You just fuck off and die. Kid Rock.
I heard that you've been speaking softly, trying to toss my good name under the bus. Creeping around with everybody. Hey, baby, whatever happened.
The name of this song is FOAD and by Kid Rock.
You ain't nothing but complicated.
Pause.
In your eye.
Pause for a minute, guys. Yeah, I love Kid Rock too. Kid Rock, man, I went to one of his concerts, and damn, he puts on a good show. There's times he plays every instrument on the stage. The night I went and seen him at Rupp Arena, he had a lady. She was a bigger lady, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that, but she was a bigger, older lady, And man, she rocked out on those drums. I mean, it was unbelievable how she played those drums. I was just like, wow. And of course, Kid Rock played every instrument. He also had two strippers up on the stage. They never got naked. They were in really skimpy bikinis, but they were in like glass cases dancing all night long. I never did notice if they switched out. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching the concert. I do know there was girls in those glass cages all night. And trying to think of what I was going to say. Yes, that is correct, Casey. Do the pause. Any requests? I take too many pills that help to ease pain. I made a couple dollar bills, still I feel the same. Really, Carol? Why not? What kind of music do you like? Carol, what kind of music do you like? There you go, Casey. A lot of times, Amanda, they give the monetization to the artists so they can do that. Thank you, Ricky Ray. Appreciate that. Soul Connection. Let me find out. Play Soul Connection by Poisonous. Okay, give me a second. Poisonous.
When I am helping a customer, I need to treat everybody the way I would want them to treat my family. I am a country girl, so that's what we do.
Fixed right, priced right, right on time. The triple promise. And now come into the new Firestone Complete Auto Care location in your neighborhood. Once you see the passion and expertise of our Firestone family, you won't want to take your car anywhere else. Go to driveafirestone.com to find the store nearest you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor. Somewhere out there, now you're looking for me. Someone who will change my world. Don't even know why you're looking for me. I'm determined to bring us closer. Find my ride or die.
Yeah, me too, Casey. I agree with that.
I'm looking for you. Somewhere's my ride or die.
Oops.
A 100 days have made me older since the last time that I saw your pretty face. 1,000 lives have made me colder, and I don't think I can look at this the same. All the miles that separate
Yeah, $3 down.
disappear now when I'm dreaming.
What's that? Who played that one song? I can't go down to the water's edge.
But you're still on my mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, it's only you and me. Miles just keep rolling as the people leave their way to say love.
That's a good song, Nicole R.
This life is overrated, but I hope that it gets better as we go. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still on my mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream.
7 Mary 3, Water's Edge.
I don't know why I love you, but I do. I don't know why.
What other songs did they sing? They sung some other good ones. Cumbersome. I think Water's Edge is the one I'm thinking of. I believe. Ron Moxley, did I hear you say you had a Facebook page? Was it one for this channel? Obviously not trying to intrude on your personal life. If you go to the description of my video, the link to the Facebook page is on there. Anybody that says just go to the description of my video, the link is there. The page is hidden, and you do need to answer the questions, and you will be vetted a little bit. So This is a good song right here, guys.
Can't stomach what you can see. Still there, water's edge. Wasted and eroded and waiting for someone. How these things come about when you're tired.
Yeah, Blue October is good. That is good. Good band.
Shot of pain, there was no reason, no gain. I can't tell to the water's edge. I knew where I saw it. Don't down, water's edge. Made it once, make it do it again. Ain't no secret to me how she got there down by the stream. 'Cause I'd seen her a minute before the van pulled up.
Candlebox. That's a good one. Good call. Which song by Candlebox do you guys want to hear? Thank you, Cowgirl. I'm going to try to find out how to play a video on my screen. Far behind. All right.
Quality writing makes your school
I hate
better.
ads.
Meet Grammarly, the digital.
Hello, Little Miss Vegas. How are you tonight? Oh, I got a good one. This is a good song, guys, here that I'm getting ready to play. This is a good one. This is probably one of my all-time favorites.
Mama said, come here, don't waste your time. I said, I've got time. Leave me soon. 5 years old and talking to myself. Where were you? Where'd you go? Daddy, did you tell? I'm not trying to fake it, and I ain't the one to blame. No, there's no one home in my house again. And I didn't write the pages, and my script's been rearranged. No, there's no one home in my house again.
changing it so we get trouble by you. Yeah.
This is Tyler.
Hello, Tyler.
with Grammarly's help, is writing an email to his boss, Anita.
How are you, Tyler?
Everything's so fine, everyone's so fake, and everybody's empty, and everything is so messed up. Preoccupied without you, what can I live at all? While the world surrounds you, stumble in my crawl. You could be my someone, you could be my seed. You know that I'll protect you from all of the.
There you go, Don Break.
Look inside your tiny mind, and look a bit harder. Cause we're so uninspired, so sick and tired of all the hatred you harbor. So you say it's not okay to be gay, well I think you're just evil. You're just some racist who can't tie my laces. Your point of view is medieval. Fuck you very, very much. Cause we hate what you do and we hate your whole crew. So please don't stay in touch. Fuck you very, very much. Cause your words don't translate and it's getting quite late. So please don't stay in touch. Do you get a little kick out of being small-minded? You want to be like your father, it's approval you're after. Well, that's not how you find it. Do you really enjoy living a life that's so hateful? Cause there's a hole where your soul should be, you're losing control of
I gotta take
and it's
something off.
really distasteful.
Don't play it too long. Trying to find us a good song to play here. I don't see anything. I know a good one we can play. Can't see your comments right now, guys, if you're saying anything. No, this is a good one. An oldie but a goodie.
No matter where we are in life, our health deserves personalized.
Oh, I got a good one. Oh yeah.
Hey, nigga, why?
Yeah. Hell yeah. What up, Kelly? You like this? Old school. Hello, Glare. How are you? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How I don't know. I just actually got over the flu. I felt better today than I felt in quite a long time. Hello, Julie. How are you? I got to pause it for just a minute so we don't get in trouble. Don't want that to happen, do we? We don't need a copyright strike. That would not be good. So somebody says they're twerking. We've got people twerking in the crowd. I think so. I'm not sure. Sue Shaw says Twilight Zone. I just got up for a wee. It's 4:40 a.m. UK. Hello, Sue. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't need any more trouble. Good night, Ronnie. That's Ice Cube, actually. Well, Dr. Dre isn't. He's at the first of it. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's me. Oh, Lord. It scared me. I thought someone had shot me. I got scared for a minute. So, holy crap, man. We got Ice Cube up on the green screen. We got Natural Born Killers playing, and we've been on for 3 hours and 13 minutes. How does that make you guys feel? It makes me feel like I'm back. So you know what it is. Damn, it's almost 20 to 12 though, so I probably do need to get to bed. Maybe we'll play another song before I go. There are no words to say to you. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Trying to find something here. We need a good song to end the evening with. Good night, Dorothy. Pretty giddy. Pretty giddy. Should I kill her? Good Riddance by Green Day. It's not a bad one.
When I am helping a customer, I need to treat everybody
I
the way
hate
I would
ads.
want them to treat my family. I am a
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your
That's a good song right there. It's pretty cool. So I think we've had a pretty awesome night, in my opinion. I hope you guys have. But we do need to find a song to take us out. So I'm trying to think of a good one to take us out to. Let me see. See if you guys like any of this.
Bow down before the one you serve. You're going to get what you deserve. Bow down before the one you serve. You're going to get what you deserve.
We'll have this one take us out.
Just tell me what you want to. Got money now, me up there, so on. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take that away from me. God, money's not concerned about the sick among the pure. God, money, let's go dancing on the backs of the blues. The God, money's not one to choose. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take it. No, you can't take that away from me.
Thank you, Stephanie. That's very kind of you to say.
It's Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Save up to $600 when you get a king bed at a queen price and you are innocence personified, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Run away. I am cold like December snow. I have carved out this soul made of stone, and I will drag you down and sell you out. Embraced by the darkness, I'm losing the light. Encircled by demons I fight. What have I become now that I've betrayed? Everyone I've ever loved, I pushed them all away. And I have been a slave to the choice in my mind. Is there something left for me to save in the wreckage of my life? My life, I become man.
Fozzy, Chris Jericho. Good night, Stephanie. Pretty Hate Machine, the full album, it says. That was a good
No matter
album.
where we are in life, our health deserves personalized care.
I don't know what we can take it out with. I can't see your comments right now, so give me just a second. We'll take it out with this one.
Thank you very much. I feel like a fucking girl. I'm sorry, man. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
We'll take it out with this one, guys.
So guys, you're sounding pretty loud right now. You guys think you can be a little bit louder? And I'm not saying that you're not loud enough. You sound great. That's what it is. Yeah? Who would you sing with this one?
We're gonna let this song take us home, people.
Inside of me, all that they can see the words revealed is the only real thing that I've got left to be. Nothing to do, just stuck, hollow and alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is mine. I wanna hear, what I was there about you. I wanna let go of the thing I felt so wrong. It's all the things in the sky. I wanna hear.
How did y'all like that? Was it good? Pretty good night, eh?
It's not the way I had imagined it all of my life. Or do I have the negativity? Cause I can't justify the way everyone is looking at me. If it's a game, I'm went alone, and the fault is my own, and the fault is my own. I wanna hear what I know is never real. I wanna let go of the thing I got so wrong. Takes all the pain to the sky.
Look how cigarette at on the screen. That's pretty cool. Don Will, Angie Walls says, let's say goodnight to each other and everyone then like the Waltons. Good night, Horsehead Rogers. Night, Jessica the Saint, and Leprechaun Spain. I like that. Night, John Boy. Well, guys, this one's taking us out 3.5 hours tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow night. I love you guys, and good night.